Hello lovely people, thanks for stopping by for today's video. We're going to be talking about an influencer who got caught up in a pretty big lie. She claims that it was only one sentence and just like a slip up, and things quickly spiraled out of control. But today she is addressing everything and we're going to go over her apology. Maybe we'll figure out why she felt she needed to lie, how it got so out of control, and how she's going to grow and learn from it today. But without further ado, let's just jump right into this video. Small, so tiny. I think that should be good. Okay, so as we see, she is a pretty popular TikToker. She has 3.5 million followers. She seems to post a lot of lifestyle, family, maybe fashion, cooking, product reviews, shopping hauls, things like that. Not really my cup of tea, not really up my alley, but lots of smiles. She seems like she's living a pretty decent life. I'm not gonna go through and play these because I'm sure there's a lot of copyrighted music on there. We don't want to get into all of that today. This video was posted on November 10th. Let's just get into what she has to say during this video. I'll just interject here and there as I feel needed, but let's get started.
So I never wanted to talk about this time in my life because it was a very difficult time for me.
All right, okay, this isn't about anything that she's said so far. It's just, I really do want to call attention to the setup she has going on here. It seems like the copy and paste influencer setup, like apology setup, where they're sitting in front of a bed on the floor. And I think from like a design or a marketing or a PR standpoint, sitting yourself on the floor, I think it's supposed to convey like humbleness, almost like when someone gets on their knees and they pray for forgiveness. I think it's definitely a weird way to introduce this video. It's fine, just sit on the bed, sit on a chair, sit on a couch, just talk to the camera, talk to your viewers and your audience. You don't have to sit on the floor of your bedroom.
But I owe it to my followers and people that support me to tell you my truth. I also want to put a stop to the people that are twisting and exaggerating what actually happened.
Oh, okay. I also find it really weird when people say, I'm telling you my truth, this is my truth, I'm giving you my story. Why don't you just say I'm telling you the truth, or I'm gonna be honest? I definitely think she's just hitting these little check boxes. Like maybe she watched like other influencer apologies before she made this one to try and get like that clean script together. I don't think she's doing this on script, but I definitely think there's like a bullet point list that influencers will go down and they'll do like a little check when they are saying sorry. I haven't watched this entire video. If she does like I'm gonna donate to this certain charity, that's just, for me, that's gonna be like the icing on the cake. I know that when people are doing that, yes, it's going to a good cause, but I still think it's like this weird virtue signaling, God, I'm just losing my words today, sorry guys. But yeah, when people do donate to charities, it's for a good cause, but I don't know if they're doing it for the right reasons.
I'm just gonna go from the beginning. So back in 2017, I had extremely bad mental health.
And that's another thing. I do want to let you guys know that this was back in 2017. So when she was probably a lot younger, I'm trying to give her credit where credit's due. I don't even know it's credit, but I'm trying to like give context where context is needed. Back in 2017, she was a completely different person. Probably had completely different lifestyle, living situation, ideals, morals, things like that. And it wasn't like she was on her current platform with 2.5 million followers telling everybody that she had, well, we're gonna get into that, but she wasn't telling this lie to her audience currently. This was back in the past with somebody that she knew previously, but I'm gonna let her speak.
And at the time I didn't realize how bad, but it was bad. I was depressed, I was lost, I was confused. I lost my partner, I lost my job. And there was lots of things in that year that led me to be mentally ill.
Okay, I do feel pretty bad for her. That is a lot of things to happen all at once. And when she says she lost her partner, I believe her partner actually passed away, which, yeah, that's definitely traumatizing. I understand maybe going through grief during that period of time. I don't know. I'm definitely going to need you guys to comment on this video, give me your thoughts and opinions, because maybe my perspective on this will shift towards the end of this video. But I still think that what she did, under any type of circumstances, I just can't imagine making that choice. But again, let's continue.
I said something to someone within my immediate circle in confidence. One stupid sentence that I deeply regret. I said I had an illness, which was cancer. I didn't do this for malicious intent or to scam people.
Okay, so this is the one thing that I have an issue with, is if you're saying that you said one little sentence, I think that's really minimizing the entire situation and minimizing the impact. And also, I'm not gonna say she's a liar, but like, I can't imagine having a conversation with a friend, probably you're emotionally charged, and you just say, bestie, I have cancer, and then you just leave it at that. Like, I feel like there would be some follow-up. Like, if I was having a conversation with somebody that I cared about, it wouldn't just be one sentence. I would ask them, oh my gosh, are you okay? Like, what did the doctor say? Like, what treatments, like, is it curable? Is it gonna, like, how is this gonna impact your life? Do you need help with anything? Maybe we can figure out your insurance, and if we don't have money to cover your treatment through insurance, we can like start a fundraiser. Like, that would be my immediate course of action. And then I also understand that sometimes that's not helpful for people when they are going through something, is to immediately try and solve the problem. But that's just how I would react. If someone came to me and they were venting about something as serious as cancer, and they just said, I have cancer, and they didn't follow up with any additional information, I would be very confused by that. Like, you don't want to like expand on that. Like, are you okay? I also wonder how the person that she told this situation, I wonder how they're feeling. I wonder what they're thinking after all of this is coming to light, because being told a lie that big, I feel like that would just completely destroy friendships or relationships or families. That would make you a completely untrustworthy person, because if you're willing to lie about that, and again, I understand she was going through some other stuff, but if you were able to lie about that, what else would, like, that's probably one of the biggest lies that you could say to somebody. So like in daily conversation, I wouldn't be able to trust you. If you said, oh, like something bad happened to me, I would wonder, are you actually going through it? Do you actually want support? Or are you just trying to like mess with my emotions and get attention?
I did this out of desperation. I did it to keep the people close to me, to keep the people in my life close to me. I don't condone it. I understand why I did it, and I've learned from my mistakes. This was not a long-running scam or a manipulative story like it's been made out to be.
I mean, it is pretty manipulative. You have to be accountable and like understand that whether it's small-scale manipulation or large-scale manipulation, even if you thought it was going to be a one-time, one-off comment conversation to this person, you were being manipulative to them. And if that was someone that you felt that you could confide in, that you really needed to keep in your life, and you really wanted support from this person, I'm assuming that they were very important to you, and you lied to them. Whether it was a big or small lie, like this is probably the biggest lie that you could come up with to tell somebody.
The people that I told then told a couple of...
Okay, so I thought she told one person.
I said something to someone within...
Okay, so she said that, I just want you guys to keep in mind, she said someone. I told someone.
I did it to keep the people close to me, to keep the people in my life close to me.
Now she's saying that it was multiple people. Keep the people, not the person, not my friend, not my sister, not my aunt, whatever.
The people that I told.
Okay, so this is why I'm irritated now. Okay, I'm irritated because she starts out by, you see how it started out small? And also, hear me out. She lied about having cancer. Who's to say that she's not lying during this apology? Let's break it down. First, she said, I said one sentence to somebody. To someone. I told one person. Then she said, I wanted to keep the people, multiple people, plural people, close to her. And then she's saying that it was a small group of people. When I brought up the hypothetical scenario of someone close to me telling me I have cancer, or they're sick, they have an illness, I would ask them those questions. If you're in like a group setting, that's a bit of a conversation stopper. You don't just go, I broke up with my boyfriend. How's your week going? Oh, I got a promotion at my job. Congratulations. Oh, what about you? Oh, I have cancer. Boom. You don't, there's certain things that when you're in a conversation with multiple people, you don't just hear that and let it roll off your back. You stop the conversation. You check in on the person. You see what they need. See, are they okay? I feel like she's lying about the way it all started. Because how do you keep this under wraps? But maybe she's gonna come out and explain how it was able to get the. Listen, I'm giggling a little bit during this video. For me, that's when like something is a little bit like ironic, hard to believe, or I feel like someone's playing me in my face. It's just like, you really take me for a fool.
Then told a couple of others, and there was a fundraising page made on behalf of me, which I knew about. And as soon as I saw there was donations, there was 2 donations, I had the page immediately shut down and I didn't take a penny from it.
Which, listen, that's good. Like, if you, that's the thing where I feel like I've heard these stories before with moms that have Munchausen by proxy, or there's Munchausen syndrome and all those types of things. There have been times where people exploit their children or exploit themselves, and they go out and get a bunch of donations, and they're doing Make-A-Wish, and they're going on vacations, and they're getting free stuff, and then it comes out years down the line that, yeah, they were lying about all that. I do say that it is good that she didn't let the donation page run and take money from people, well-meaning people, because that would have just made it so much worse. I think that crosses into criminal territory. Right now, we're just looking at the morals and the character and like questioning, why would you do this? I know you were having a rough time in your life, but why did you let it get to the point where you had multiple people so concerned? After you told the first person, I'm sure people were probably reaching out like, hey, like, I hope you're okay, or if you need anything, like, just like the natural chain of behaviors when something like this happens to someone you care about.
I've grown from this. I am working on being the best version of myself. It took me a long time to understand why I did it, and I forgive myself.
Okay, that's cool that you forgive yourself, but do the people, those people that you betrayed, did they forgive you? Are they okay? They're probably dealing with some major trust issues in life right now because of this entire situation that you put them through. And I also really don't like when people are saying, or when people say, I've grown from this, I worked on myself. Like, I don't like it when people say that, because for me, I'm like, I need something tangible. I need something specific. Like, yes, your social media page blew up and that's really cool. Like, you worked on that, but did you go to therapy? Did you try and get on some type of medication that would help you with... Listen, I don't think that you should throw medication at every single problem, but did you try doing some self-reflection, like journaling? Did you start a new hobby that made you feel like you had a purpose in this world to where you didn't have to rely on other people as much? Did you try building stronger connections with those people by apologizing, showing up for them when they needed you instead of when you needed them? I think those are ways that you could like work on yourself, maybe growing your self-esteem and your self-confidence to understand that you don't have to lie to have people in your life, because you as an individual are worthy enough to have attention and love and care. Those are things that I think are a bit more in depth than just saying, I'm working on it. Hey guys, like, I'm doing good, doing better. I think you gotta add a little bit more sauce. I don't know how to better put it, but you gotta put a little bit more sauce on it.
Because I was mentally ill, and I'm so deeply sorry to anyone that I've upset or triggered from saying what I said. I wasn't on social media at the time. This was years before I was...
Also, I don't know if this is because of the makeup she's wearing, which her makeup looks really great. I'm not trying to make fun of her appearance. I don't know if she maybe has like a filter on or something, but I'm watching this video and like she has like, that's the thing. She has like the pinkishness in her nose, like pinkness, that's not a word. She has a bit of a pink nose to where like when you cry and like you rub your nose, it's like an indicator that you are upset. She has the wavery voice, and she's doing like all the different intonations and pausing at appropriate times and taking her breath at appropriate times. But I don't see any tears. I'm not saying I want her to break down in tears and cry during this video, but if you feel like you want to come on and make a video, also I don't think I've seen her like have a tissue or wipe her eyes or anything like that, but if you're gonna come on the internet and you're going to give a genuine apology, don't fake cry. If you're truly sorry, you don't have to fake cry, just talk normally. If you do cry and you do get emotional, that's fine too, but it still almost feels like you're acting. That's where I think the apology is just like, It's like a lot of fluff. Maybe she doesn't cry a lot of tears. Maybe she doesn't want to mess up her makeup, so she's holding it back. I don't know, but... Or it could just be filters. I'm just saying that it just feels uncanny to have like the sounds of someone crying, but not the visuals of someone crying.
Even on social media, I didn't do this for love.
Oh, also, I will say that at least she did say, I'm sorry. Because I'll see a lot of people that address a situation and like throughout the entire thing, they don't actually just say the words, I'm sorry. So I will give her some credit for saying basically just, I'm sorry. And it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't solve the problem. But it's like a little bit better. It's like a little bit better from some situations I've seen before. But not the context. Context-wise, lying about cancer. That's pretty fucked up.
Likes or followers. And I know how horrible this disease is. And I know how much it affects people. So for that, I am so sorry. I admitted what I did. And I said sorry to the people that I hurt. After it all happened, a year later, I moved away from my hometown. Because I wanted to work on myself. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be mentally well again.
That's good. Well, I don't know. I think it's good to want to be mentally well again. But I wonder, and this is just me being a little skeptical, did you move from your hometown because every time you went to the grocery store, every time you went out in public or to the gas station, you got weird looks because they're like, oh, that's the girl that lied about cancer. Ooh, that's, I don't know how big her town was. I know there are some cities, and I like to call really small towns villages. There are some little tiny villages out there with like a population of 600 where everybody knows everybody. Cousins know cousins and uncles, and this person you went to middle school with and that person you went to pre-K with, everybody fucking knows everybody. So did you move out of the town because you wanted to escape what happened? Which I guess if you stay in that town, there's really not much growth that could be made if you're constantly reminded of the horrible thing that you did. So maybe that was just the best case scenario to get out of there. But I could definitely imagine, I could definitely see a small town looking at her as an outsider or like as an outcast and shunning her because, again, in our society, lying about an illness that has taken so many lives, it's unacceptable. It's an unacceptable thing.
I wanted to surround myself with people that were gonna help me, and I got a job with a fundraising company, and that's how I met Ash. I was able to work for charities. Me and Ash fundraised together for a short period of time. I wasn't good at it at all, but Ash helped me so much. Him and his family helped me so much, and I'll forever be grateful. He was my light at the end of the tunnel. He helped me be well again. He helped me forgive myself. And although I am so emotional when I talk about this, I am mentally well again. And I'm so proud of where I've come from being in that dark place to now. And I'm here because I want to be an advocate for mental health. I want to help people because I know what it's like to be in a dark place, and I want to help people. And I also just want to say a massive thank you to all the people out there that support me.
Okay. Oh gosh, listen guys, listen. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I'm not laughing at her. I'm just laughing at myself because there is this thing in my stomach. I know earlier I was talking about, oh, I don't really see any tears on her face, whatever. But there's this thing inside of me, and it's very hard for me to turn it off. But whenever I listen to other people like sound like they're tearing up or like getting emotional, it makes me feel like it makes me feel bad for them, okay guys? Like I'm a bit of a softie. It's hard for me to stay mad or like I can't wish the worst on her. I'm not gonna be like, well, since you lied about it, I hope it actually happens to you. No, I'm not gonna say anything like that. Do I think she made a horrible choice? Yes. Do I think what she did is irredeemable? Also, yes, you can't come back from that. Am I gonna say like, oh, you're a bad parent, you're everyone should disown you? No, I just think you're untrustworthy. I think you're an untrustworthy person. I'm not gonna watch your content, never did before. I'm not gonna like emotionally invest myself into focusing on her channel after, or focusing on her social media accounts after this video. But I definitely do get like this little, I feel sad when people cry, guys. It just makes me feel like I don't know how to describe it. Let me know, are you guys the type of person where it's a situation that's going on and you're supposed to be angry but you still feel sad? I have mixed emotions, okay? I'm human, sue me.
Still follow me. When you didn't know my truth, you still believed in me. If I could go back and change what I did, I would do it in a heartbeat. It was one stupid sentence that I said almost a decade ago.
Okay, that's, again, I don't know if it was one stupid sentence. That's something I'm having a really hard time believing, that you just said, hey, I've been feeling really down, there's a lot going on, I don't feel well today, I have cancer. I think the number one question that people ask when they are told that someone has a diagnosis is, what type of cancer? Because some different cancers have different mortality rates. And I think people want to brace themselves and prepare themselves to understand the journey ahead. After you drop a bombshell on them, they're gonna want to understand what comes next. So I don't think it was just like, I have cancer, or maybe she said like, I don't know specifically what cancer she lied about, but maybe she said something like, I have so-and-so cancer. I think the following question after that is, what stage is it in? So yeah, I don't know. I have so many mixed emotions on this. Like, yes, she's coming forward and she's apologizing for it now, but I wonder if that's just because people are writing articles about it and talking about it on a larger scale to where she feels like she can't cover it up anymore. She says it was one sentence. I don't think it was one sentence. Before she said it to one person, then it was like she said it to multiple people. I'm gonna finish up the rest of this clip and then we'll take a look at some other stuff.
And I've learned so much from it. And I'm so grateful for you all. And I really, really love you so much. So thank you.
Alright, so that's the end of the video. This comment says, you all wanted her to own up. She owned up to it. Now you are all hating on her for owning it. Which, I will say, she did admit it. She owned up to it, but people are still allowed to be like upset. Like if someone kicked a puppy, which I'm not saying that's what she did, but if someone kicks a puppy and they say, hey guys, I kicked that puppy, I'm sorry, you still deserve to be pissed at that person. A lot of people are saying she owned up, she apologized. This person says everyone always blames it on mental health, which mental health can be a reason, but it's not an excuse. It could be a factor for why you made the decision, but it doesn't make the decision okay, in my opinion. This person says we listen and we judge. Hey, I get it. Yeah, so it seems like there's a lot of these meme faces. Now let's all move on. I think that might be for the best. Listen, I, as a social media consumer, I'm just gonna move on from this story after this. I'm not gonna lose sleep over this. I'm sure the people close to her might feel extremely disappointed and betrayed. Her forgiving herself is hilarious. Always blame mental health. A lot of people are comparing her to Amber Heard. Mental health does funny things to you. People who hasn't had it doesn't understand. I'm sorry you went through this. I'm now going through bad mental health. We need to stand together, XXX. Which she hearted this comment. I hope that this person's okay and doesn't lie about having cancer. About 9 years too late. Humans make mistakes, which I guess, I feel like, yes, people are pointing out the amount of time it took her to come forward. She said she told her smaller circle of friends, but it's also really hard to come out on a public platform and just like, hey guys, I lied about cancer, ha 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 ha. Get a load of this guy. Okay, some of these memes are a little bit funny. Do we get a bank holiday for this? A picture of someone pouring tears on their face. That's another thing. Like, it didn't seem like she was actually crying in that video. Yeah, so there's some mixed opinions. To all the haters, are you happy? Brittany, keep being you. You are amazing. So yeah, there's a mix. Like, I feel like I can look at this from both sides. I'm not a fan of hers. I don't know her personally. I'm not like a parasocial weirdo that knows every little facet of her pregnancy and her kids' names and all that type of stuff, right? But I've also personally lost people to cancer, and I think it's a fucked up thing to lie about. I don't know. I am very much like, there's really not like a solid conclusion to this, because what do you say? You fucked up. That's it. You fucked up. There has been an article written, this is on BBC, TikTok creator so sorry over cancer diagnosis lie. A TikTok influencer has been forced to apologize after admitting that she had previously lied about being diagnosed with cancer. But the 29-year-old recently came under fire on the app after material seeming to show a fundraising page claimed she had been diagnosed with gastric cancer went viral. Alright, so she claimed it was gastric cancer, which that seems pretty intense. I don't know exactly what that would entail, but I feel like anything with the internal organs would require a lot of treatment. There are some cancers that are more treatable than others, so I don't know the prognosis for this. Hold on. Let me just do some research. And by research I mean Google. I don't want to see an AI review. I mostly just want to understand like the mortality rate, because I could imagine that seeing the mortality rate would cause a bit of a panic. Okay, survival rates can give you an idea of what percentage of people with the same type and stage of cancer are still alive a certain amount of time, usually 5 years after they were diagnosed. Okay, these numbers are based on people with diagnosed. This is a little bit complicated for me to understand because I'm not a doctor, but it seems like if it's localized, which I'm assuming if it's like in a small spot, you have a 75% chance of surviving for 5 years. If it's regional, so maybe if it spreads to the colon or the intestines, that's a 36% chance of surviving 5 years, which that seems pretty low. That seems very low to me. And distant, I believe that's if it starts to spread throughout the digestive tract or maybe starts to get into other organs, that's a 7% chance of surviving 5 years. That's not really a great outlook. Again, I could be misunderstanding these numbers, these statistics, because I'm not a doctor and I'm not a medical anything. But if someone told me that there's a 75% chance that even if like best odds, right? Best odds that they would survive, there's a 75% chance that they would survive for 5 years. I'm like, that's still 25% chance that you could lose your life. That's still, I would still be extremely worried about that. All right, so on this website, they have essentially the same numbers. The relative survival rate for stomach cancer is 36%. Gosh, that's really sad. You see, I'm trying to get these from actual websites and not the AI overviews. So more statistics. 769,000 related deaths were reported in 2020. Wait, is that just for 1 year? Oh, this is worldwide, but that is a lot of people. This website is called Spring Nature Link, by the way. Even if she didn't go into detail, it's weird that she picked a very specific type of cancer as well. I didn't even know, like, I know that yes, you can get cancer anywhere in your body, but I'm surprised that that's the one that she chose to lie about. I wonder if someone else in her life was impacted by that and she maybe took a part of their story. But yeah, so she's 29, and how many years ago was this? Did she say it was 7 years ago? I could do math. Wait, I could do math. So she was like maybe around like 22 years old. Again, I know people change and people grow and things happen, but at 22, I think you're not completely solidified as the person you are. Like your frontal lobe isn't fully developed. I get that. But you're old enough to know better. You also know it's wrong. Like that's the same thing with a child. A child will lie because they believe that there's consequences if the truth is revealed. Like, oh, I don't know, you colored on the wall and like you stand in front of the wall so your parents don't see, and your parents like, hey, scooch over, champ, move over. What's behind your back there? What's going on? And normally the kid, I think the kid will probably like break into tears or something like that once they get caught. And I think she got caught red-handed with this. Again, the quote says, "One stupid sentence I deeply regret." So the police in her area have closed an investigation. They're not investigating her, so I do believe that she didn't accept any money from this. I'm on r/TikTok gossip just to see what other people have to say about it. I've definitely noticed that people on different platforms have different reactions when information like this comes out. So they are acknowledging that she didn't have followers when this happened. It started before she was on social media. This person says, "Fuck her. My sister died from cancer. To lie about this shit it's disgusting. No matter what is going on in her life, she always gave me weird vibes." This person says, "I have cancer and I'm disgusted beyond belief. No one should ever want or wish or pretend to have this. It's literally sucked the life out of me. Best wishes for your sister and family." It's nice that people are sending this person positive vibes. I hope that they get better and I hope that they're okay. Oh, Kinsey Nicole. Is that someone else that faked having cancer? Oh, Is there another one? Listen, I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get into all that. What is with people and faking cancer? That's weird. Oh, so this person says people have been asking her to acknowledge her lies for years. She also lied about having a miscarriage. I don't. Oof. Listen, this is alleged. This is all hearsay. I'm not touching that. I'm not gonna touch that because I know that that is a very, very sensitive, painful, traumatic topic. And unless I have actual evidence of someone lying about that, I don't want to talk about that. I wonder why now. She spent years deleting comments about this on like every video. I can't pay to read this article, so I'm not going to. Has she no shame? How desperate influencer Brittany Miller faked cancer for likes as we reveal dark truth behind sham career. Wow, so someone has been knowing about this for a little bit. I don't need to know her whole life story. It seems that this article came out, this was on the 4th of November, and then they updated it on the 9th of November, and then she came out, yeah, so this video came out on, sorry, the 10th. But so she was exposed and then she apologized. So she waited until shit hit the fan, and almost like she was cornered. She had no other choice. I guess previously she had been deleting comments about this for a while, which that also makes me think she escaped from the hometown and she left there because things turned sour. And I'm sure a lot of people held a lot of resentment for her, but then she moved on. But people were still popping up in her comments. And at the first comment on your, like, you should have addressed it. Should have addressed it way sooner. So I definitely understand why people are like, why did you wait 9 years? She waited 9 years because there was really no fire under her butt until now. So does that discredit the entire apology? Does that make all of that null and void if you have to force an apology from somebody? I don't think it's genuine. Like I said earlier, I do feel sad to hear people cry. It makes me feel sad. It makes me feel like, oh. But a lot of other things in this is just not adding up for me. But like I said, she fucked up. I can only say it so many times. She fucked up. So yeah, I feel like there's not really much more that I can add to this conversation besides saying you fucked up, you fucked around, you found out you made a mistake, even though it was many, many years ago. You should have addressed it a lot sooner. I definitely want to hear what you guys have to say on this. Like, I'm sure there are people out there that have been directly impacted by cancer, that have lost loved ones, that have maybe had a pet with cancer, that have themselves dealt or are dealing with cancer, or even a similar diagnosis, just any type of illness. You should not be lying about stuff like that. Yeah, she admitted it, but only under pressure. So leave me a comment on your thoughts about this video, on this entire situation. With that being said, I'm gonna wrap it up. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and as always, stay lovely.